So, there she is in the flesh. What a bonny looking thing. It was cool with the panniers on. I'm glad I went for them. I nearly went for the metal ones, or, you know, for a set of generic ones that I could have used on another bike, but I think they're big enough and they look really well. I'm glad I went for them. So yeah, the 1290. You probably know all the specs. 160 horsepower, 138 newton meters of torque. That torque figure is part of the reason I went for this bike over any of the others. What option did I go for? So I went for the ergo heated power part seat. I didn't bother with the pillion one. I thought I might regret that, because obviously you've got the orange stitching on here, but actually the standard seat's not that far off, and with this bit here it sort of blends in pretty well, so that's good. Other options, I went for heated grips. Bit of a must really, once you've had them, there's no going back. The crash bars in black. What else we got? We got the rad guards on. It's got the tech pack that comes with the quick shifter, the auto blipper, rally modes, all the good stuff. He upgraded a Kropovich exhaust. Still got the baffles in there, you can see smoking. I hope that's normal. Yeah, and the panniers. This is where my delay was actually, and the fittings for the panniers, them and the rad guards were what took the longest to arrive. But I'll do a full walk round of stuff like the top boxes and how that work once I've got home and got used to it and whatnot. But for now, I'm going to get back on the road and enjoy this beauty. Let's get you about where you need to be. There we are, up here. Right. Oh no, water! My new bike. Oh. So yeah, I went for the Kropovich exhaust. I nearly didn't. I watched channel Sam Vincent. He's done got a lot of content on this bike. He's got the Arrow, I forget what it's called now, Sonata, something like that, and that sounds awesome. Looks an awesome can. Nowhere near as big as the stock can in this Kropovich. But the one thing that sort of put me off a little bit was, like I said, I've gone for the stock panniers, and I didn't know what that exhaust would fit like with the stock panniers and stuff, because these have got a cutout for the exhausts, you know, and they work well. And to be honest, it sounds pretty good, even with the baffles. Don't know if that's coming across. It sounds awesome, and that's even with the baffles in. But for now, I've just got to scrub these tyres in, so I've got to take it easy for the first 100 miles or so. And also try and keep the revs down, don't be screaming. While I run the engine in, while I break it in. The first service is booked for just under 2 weeks' time. So no pressure or anything, I've got to try and get 600 miles in by then, and if you looked at the weather forecast, it's not looking great. So probably what I'll do is like take it out most nights and just have like half an hour on it, you know, and just do like 50-mile increments, and you know, I'll soon get there. And then if I get a dry stint, I'll go out for a big ride and try and get 200 and 300 miles out of it done that way. You know, I'm saying that like that's going to be a chore. It really isn't. I cannot wait, you know. So if you've watched any of my other stuff, you'll know I had a BMW S1000XR. I absolutely love that bike. I had it for 4 years. Did 24,000 miles on that, which is quite a lot, considering for 12 months of that we were kind of locked up, weren't we? We couldn't go out. Love that bike, but I'm just ready for a change, you know. Like I say, I've had it 4 years, never let me down, but just ready for something different. So that's why I've got this now. There's obviously quite a few bikes in this sort of sector. You've got the Triumph Tiger 1200, obviously the GS, then you've got the Multistrada, a few others, but those are the sort of 3 main competitors I can think of when you think of this bike. But I chose this. Really, it was only between this and the Multistrada in my mind. The GS, I love the GS, but there's an R1300, you know, around the corner, and I don't know. I'm not saying I'll never have a GS, because I've ridden a few GS's and I absolutely love it. It's a fantastic bike. There is a reason why it's one of the most popular bikes. You know, it's justified. It's a great bike. The Triumph, I've never test rode a Triumph. Absolutely nothing against them. But because of the sort of sporty nature that I wanted to keep with a bike, it kind of meant it was between the Multistrada and this. I never test rolled a Multistrada. I thought I would before I'd bite the bullet, but the 2 things put me off the Multistrada. The first is the price. You know, to get the Multistrada with this sort of spec, with these sort of upgrades on, I bet you're looking at an extra 7 or 8 grand over what I paid for this. And then the biggie for me was the fuel consumption. They're just not economical, and it's not necessarily the economy that was the problem for me, it was the range. You know, I like to head off into Scotland, or, you know, I like to do big rides. I don't want to be stopping all the time, or, you know, worrying about am I going to make it to the next fuel station. So that was a biggie for me. And I know they've just brought out the Rally, announced the Rally that's got a bigger fuel tank and whatnot, which kind of solves that problem, but even still the economy's not great. And then, like I say, you're looking at an extra 7 or 8 grand to get the same sort of spec as what I've got here. And I test rode this and I was smitten straight away. I knew pretty much as soon as I set off on the pavement, yeah, this is the bike for me. So here we are, 2 weeks later, sat on my own. Very, very happy days. I should call this channel Happy Days, because I say it all the time. So I've got quite a lot planned for this bike. I've already got quite a few bits at home, which I shall run through in a separate video, namely the GPS and the mount and everything associated with that. I love this thing already. It's just a shame. We're in the wrong time of the year, really, aren't we? I cannot wait to start putting the miles on this. I can't wait to get up into Scotland, get into Wales, get into Europe. I've got quite a lot planned for this. Get a Rivington Pike, that's where I'm heading, up into the clouds. Looks cool up there, doesn't it? Right, that's it for this one. Quick introduction to the new bike. I plan to do all sorts of content on this bike, so if this is a bike you're interested in, please consider subscribing, hitting the like button, you know, all that stuff that helps it out. Really appreciate it. Catch you in the next one.